Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today is another exciting video. We're going to be using the Kaleidos Futurism 3 Astro Pink Palette for a first impressions to see how it worked. This is the look I come up with. It's fabulous and I love it. And the packaging of this, first of all, it's like that resin art I always see on like TikTok and stuff like that. If you want to follow someone who does really good resin art, follow Brittany Lopez Studio on Instagram. Fabulous. But it's very much like there's some kind of foiled bits on it there you can kind of see. And then you open the palette and you got your little card with all your names on, which I like to keep. And these are the colours here. And it's such a stunning kind of ethereal sort of looking palette. It's also quite spacey, which is obviously why it's called Astro Pink. But yeah, I love it. I think it's so cute. I think the colours go really well together. They're very cohesive together. I didn't use the black for this look in this video, but I will be using it in my 2 looks on palette, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I feel like the colours are so cohesive. It's a colour palette that I want to use and is very interesting colours, even if they're very easy to use, if that makes sense. So let's get on with this. If you want to see this look up close, my Instagram is linked down below. You can check out my pictures there. I always post my pictures of my makeup down there. So give it a follow and then you'll be up to date with all my pictures and you'll see them in more detail and all the sparkly bits. So yeah, let's get on to some swatches. So I'm going to do my swatches on my arm like normal, and I'm going to actually start this way and work this way just because black is going to be everywhere. So, well, not everywhere, but it'll be all over my fingers. So let's start with the lighter one. It's called Lunar. I've got my piece of paper here and it's a matte. I've no primer on or anything like that. Did about 2 swipes, 2 swirls or something like that in it. And that's how he looks. And it doesn't look super spectacular, but it's actually a beautiful color. I use this in my crease today. I used everything except the black from this palette, and it just has that beautiful kind of look to it. By the way, that's just a mark from my watch. It's not part of the swatch. So yeah, that's the lighter of the 2 nudes. Then we've got the next one, which is, where are you gone? Stardust, which is this one here. I'm hoping I don't have these backwards because it doesn't actually have an up or down sort of thing. So this is similar, but it definitely has a bit more purple in it. Still matte, but it has a bit more purple, but they work so beautifully together. This is a bit warmer, this is a bit cooler, and this is a bit stronger as well. Very beautiful, super nice, very nice to work with, very easy to blend, because I've already used them obviously, so I know, and I'm giving you all this information now, but you will see it all in action. Then we have got Lightyear. Yes, Lightyear, which is the shimmer in here, and wait for this one. We're going to do a 1 and a 2. Yeah, that's, you could do your makeup in that. I said this in the video, but you can do your makeup in that. It's so shiny and so reflective. And yeah, that's how that looks. And that's all you need to know about it. It's basically a pinky, lilac-y silver. And it's just the most beautiful, interesting colour, the most beautiful performing colour. It is so rich, it's so foiled, it's so reflective, it's gorgeous. I have it on my inner lid and inner corner there. And it's beautiful. I think it's so, so pretty, so nice. Then in my crease, what I have here is, what are you called? Nebula, which is the purple. It's a matte purple, so it goes very well. It's a nice, that you have like the blue, the kind of blue duochrome that I'm going to show you next has purple, so they blend really well together. And even for like a matte and a matte purple, bear in mind matte purples are very hard to make. Purples in general in eyeshadows are very hard to make, but matte purples, yeah, look at that. So pretty. So pretty, so rich. Beautiful tone as well to go with like that. Like that little palette there would be gorgeous, which is what I'm going to use in one of my looks. And then next up we've got Neptune, which is the blue to purple duochrome. It looks blue there, and then when you turn it and tilt it and do all the things with it, it looks purple. Like on my eyes I've got like 3 different colours here, but I actually have 2 on my lid. So let's give this a swatch. So that's how he looks there. I would say maybe like the base pigment is not the most opaque in the world, but the sheen and the reflectiveness and the shift you get from it is so, so pretty. If you put this over a black base, which I may do eventually, I don't know when, that would look unreal. So I think that that is going to be so, so pretty on the actual eye. Well, it is so, so pretty on the eye, but I think it'd be lovely over a black base as well, just to really oomph the colour out a little bit more. And yeah, but even so, like I'll do another one. It's still super, super bright and super shifty, which is good. Shifty is good in these eyeshadows. And then the last shade is the black, which is Cosmos, and this is a black that has a sparkle to it, and I know not everyone loves that, but the sparkle goes all the way through the black and it stays sparkly. It kind of looks like the night sky. Can you see how that looks? Can you see the sparkles in that? Because I can see the sparkles. The sparkles actually stick to the skin, which a lot of those colours that have the matte base with the sparkle in it, a lot of the time the matte will stick and the pigment will stick, but the sparkle will kind of dust away. This doesn't, and I think that's actually quite interesting because you can then use it to deepen and really work with it, and it probably will dust away the sparkle, or pack it on, which is what I am going to do in one of my looks, and get a nice sparkly black smoky eye that's not super metallic. It still has a nice bit of depth to it. So yeah, that's our little colour palette there. So this is the look I created using most of the colours bar the black, but you will see the black used in my 2 looks 1 palette, which you can subscribe to see that when it goes up. It's not up yet, but it will be up. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this palette. I really like this palette, and you get to see the textures in action now as well. So let's get on to the look. Okay guys, so let's get on to our look. I'm feeling, you would have seen it at the beginning already, but I'm feeling basically all of these colours minus the black, unless I feel like using the black. I have another idea for the black in the palette, and I don't think it's going to go with the look I have in mind for today. So I'm thinking of basically like the mattes, the purple, the 2 kind of matte, kind of pinky browns in the crease, and then using the like super beautiful duochrome, and then this like super high chrome, I don't even know how to describe it, super foiled kind of looking pinky lavender sort of shade. So I'm thinking all of these on the eye, just a kind of normal-ish eye. Well, I mean, not really normal, nothing's normal on my channel, but yeah, I already have all my skin on except my concealer and like powder and actual blush and all that kind of stuff. I've got my foundation, my brows, and my eye primer, which I'll have listed down below if you want to know. So let's get on to this look. So we're going to start with our Inglot 6SS brush, just a super big fluffy brush, and I'm going to start with the shade Lunar, which is this guy here. It's the lighter of the 2 kind of pinky browns. And I love how this palette looks when I like look at it. It makes me really want to use it, which is always what I want in a palette. And this colour is just going into the crease. It gives a nice amount of colour to kind of look like just the shadow of my own eye. Like I could just do that, maybe put a bit of shimmer on the eye or just put a matte shade on the eye, and it just looks like I've defined my eye, but it doesn't actually look like there's a lot of makeup there. And it is building up quite nice. There is like, it looks quite normal and not too deep, but it is building up very nice. So then once we have that on, we're going to go into the next shade up. So this guy here, this one is called, where's my names? Stardust. So the next matte shade. And I'm taking that on a MAC 217 brush, and he is just going to deepen up that crease a little bit more. It's a very similar sort of colour, but it's just a darker version of that colour. So you can kind of see, just deepens it up a little bit more. And I mean, they blend effortlessly. There's no difference between like the mattes from this palette into the VR Neon, which I've already done, which I will link up there, and probably down below as well. But yeah, it's very consistently good, if that makes sense. So you can see that there is enough of a difference between the 2 colours, because in the pan they don't look similar, but they look like the same sort of colour. But you can see that it definitely does deepen up between the 2 sides. Then just to be sure it's blended super nicely, I'm going to take my 6SS again, just with no product on it, just whatever's left on it. And just use that only around the edges. I don't want to blend any colours away, I just want to soften out the edges. There is some kick up in the pan. Well, with those 2 anyway, there's a bit of kick up in the pan. I do find their mattes are quite soft, which is lovely, and they work lovely and they come out very pigmented. But just be careful, don't swirl your brush in loads. I tend to just give it a little swish in the pan, and then use what from the kick up on my brush then when I need to build up more. But now we're going to go into the shade Nebula. Is it Nebula? Yes, it is Nebula. The purple in the palette, which is gorgeous. It's such a beautiful tone of purple as well. And I'm taking a Makeup Geek defined crease brush, just a small little crease brush, taking a little bit of that up, and he is going to deepen up that crease and add a little bit of colour to the crease as well. Oh, it's pretty. I'm just kind of bringing it into the crease, just whatever I have on the brush first, into the crease, just so I can kind of map it out. And then I will build up more so on the outer corners where I want the most colour to be. I definitely still want to be able to see that there is the purple there, and then it can fade into the more neutral colours just to give a bit more, like, what's the word? Not depth. Kind of anchors the look a little bit more. So then once I have that on again, I'm going to take my 217 that I use with the second shade, and with whatever's left on that, I'm going to use that to soften the purple around. Just the edge. I don't want to blend away the colour like I said before. Just our edges. I'm getting a little bit of fallout from that purple. Doesn't bother me. That's why I didn't do my under eye concealer, just in case. But yeah, just be careful if you are using it, or you do your eyes completely first, or hold tissue, or put some powder down if you prefer to do any of those. Okay, so I have that done and blended as much as I like. I can always add more, and I might need to blend a little bit more, but I'll leave it there for now. I am going to use a glitter primer with these shimmers to see how they work. I know how they work with bare skin. I've swatched them. You would have seen that at the beginning as well. But I tend to use a glitter primer for my shimmers, so it's pretty standard for me to use it now. And I'm just taking, sorry, that was my NYX glitter primer. Took a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm just taking some on my finger. I'm just going to do one eye at a time, I think. Actually, no, I'm going to put the primer on both eyes. Okay, so then we're going to move on to our shimmers, and I think I'm going to start with, which one are you? Lightyear, the pinky lavender shade. And I'm just taking that on a flat brush, and he is going to go on like the inner third of the lid. Look at it on the brush. Oh my god. Oh, these shimmers, I swear to god. I'm kind of mostly... Oh my god. Wow. I mean, obviously the glitter primer is going to help it along, but my goodness. That's so reflective. I could almost do my makeup in that. It's almost like a mirror. I'm kind of mostly just going like as far up as my iris is when I'm looking straight ahead. That's as far in as I'm bringing it for now. This is a beautiful colour and I love it. Okay, so once I have that on the lid, I'm just going to go in with my Define Crease brush again with the purple on it, but I'm not picking up any more purple unless I really want to. And I'm just taking that just along where the edge of that shimmer is, just so that they merge a little bit easier. I mean, they're not going to blend perfectly into each other, but just so that there's no like super harsh line, if that makes sense. Okay, and then on that same brush, I'm just flipping it over a little bit. On the center of the lid, I'm going to pop the shade Neptune, which is blue and purple, and it's beautiful and glorious, and it's the most perfect color for this little palette. And he is going to go on that little gap we have there, and I'm hoping it's not too dark for that area. Ooh, he's pretty. There's not a lot of base color to this one. You do have to build it to get the color to be super like there, it looks like there's a base color underneath it, but the color is gorgeous nonetheless, and it's gonna reflect purple and blue and like teal in some lights as well. Just patting over where it meets that lighter shimmer in here. Just there. We can blend it a little bit more, and then just patting it on so I know where we need to blend on the outer corner beside the purple. So I'm going back to the side that I used the lighter shimmer, just taking the tiniest, because it's so pigmented, that lighter shimmer, the tiniest little dab of it just on the tip of the brush. Just press over it where it meets the blue, and then flip it back to the blue side of the brush and tap over it where it meets the lilac. And until you're happy with your blend and it looks nice and seamless, then you can just keep going. Then picking up a tiny little bit of the purple on my Define Crease brush and just tapping over where that meets the blue. Where it looks like it's blue will still blend into the purple, and where it looks like it's purple, it'll still blend into the matte purple, if that makes sense, because it is a duochrome of blue to purple. But you can just keep going back and forward between the two like we did with the other colour. Okay, so now I want to work a little bit on the lower lash line. I'm going to do like my full blend on my lower lash line after I have concealer on, but I just want to get down this colour so I can wipe away the fallout before I put my concealer on. So I'm going to take the shade Nebula again. I have to keep checking because I'm not fully familiar with the names yet. But just the matte purple that we used in the crease, I'm taking that on a MAC 214 brush, and he is just going to go super close to the lashes. Like, I'm not I mean, it's going to be probably thicker than a lot of people would do, but for me, it's not very thick. I kind of just want a hint of this along the lower lash line. Again, I say a hint. You can definitely see it. But once I've blended, I'm hoping it should blend out more and soften a little bit. Okay, so I have tidied away any fallout, and what I'm going to do now is pop my under eye concealer on, and then I'll come back and we can finish off the shadow a little bit more, and then I'll finish off my face. Okay, so we are all concealed and everything, and now I can do like a full blend on the lower lash line. So now what I'm going to do is take a little shading brush from Real Techniques. I love this for like smudging things out on the lower lash line. I'm going to start off with Stardust, which is the deeper of the two lighter mattes. And he is going to go right on that purple, just to help kind of pull it down a little bit more. And also help it to match the blend that's happening on top, so it looks very cohesive between the two, the upper and lower. But I'm almost kind of like, I don't want the lower lash line to be super bright. I don't want it to be super dark either. I just want it to be very soft and smoky. Almost like I've put a wash of the purple down and then just blended it out, which is kind of what I did. But then keeping with that same brush, we're going to go in to Lunar, which is the lighter of the two kind of nude shades. And he is going to go on the edge of what we just did again, just so it's super blown out. And I can lighten it a little bit more as well. Or kind of neutralize it more so than lighten it. It's not really going to be a light lower lash line. Okay, and then for my inner corner, I'm just going to use the Light Year shade again. I'm just taking a tiny little bit on the tip of a synthetic brush, just like a small little synthetic brush. And he is just going to go in and around my inner corner. And it's nice, well, because this shade has that kind of pinky lilac-y kind of undertone to it, it blends so nice with the purples. Okay, and that is the shadows done for this look. So I am going to jump off very quickly, finish my face super quickly because I haven't got time to meet my boyfriend, and I don't have time. So, and I also have to do swatches and everything. So I'm going to try and get this done in about 10 minutes, and then I can do a nice intro and outro and lovely swatches on my arm. Okay guys, so this is our finished look. I just brushed out my hair and I feel so blonde. I love being this blonde. So I have finished off my face. This is how it turned out, and I'm going to quickly go through everything that I have on my face. So for my eyes, I used my Urban Decay Game of Thrones 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Dragon Smoke. It's kind of like a blackened purple with like black and kind of blue and, or not black, blue and kind of purple shimmers in them, and it's really pretty, so it goes very well with this. I have also on my eyes as my liner, which kind of got out of hand. I had a bit of a mare with this look, by the way, just to let you know. The Brush Black from MAC, just do a nice wing. This side got out of hand, so I had to extend that side as well, obviously. And then I used my MGM Flow Greater Than mascara on my top and bottom lashes for my lashes, which was the second part of my mare. These are the Violet Voss Wisp or Wisp Out You. I use my Huda lash glue, the black one, and it's perfectly fine. It's not like I have an issue with it normally. This eye just would not go down. It would not stick down. I don't even know it's fully stuck down. So yeah, I had a bit of a moment where I almost just wiped everything off. So no, nothing that dramatic. Then onto my cheeks. I went in with my cheek parade. Sorry, that was my gloss falling over. My cheek parade from Benefit, and I used Hoola. Just a normal Hoola because I am a bit more tanned at the minute, you can see here, than I normally am anyway. Oh, also my blush is from here as well. It is Rockateur, this kind of mauvey pink or like neutral rosy kind of colour. And then for my highlight, I used my Bobbi Brown highlighting powder in the shade Pink Glow, which is this guy here. And that is just gives a nice pink sheen to the cheeks. Not too sparkly, but it definitely gives you that wet look sheen. And then, have I got lipstick on my teeth? No, I don't. Then for my lips, I use my MAC lip pencil in the shade Plum to give that kind of cooler toned sort of look, so it ties in nice bit, especially the lighter mattes that we use. It kind of ties in nice with those. And also to match those, I used my lip tensity from MAC in the shade Driftwood. Again, that nice mauvey sort of colour, very pretty. And then on top, just as a gloss, just to make it nice and shiny, because everything else is shiny on my face, I use my Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Atta Girl. It's a super sparkly shimmer. So this is the final look. I love how this turned out. I am loving these palettes, just saying. This, yeah, I can't tell which one I like more. I'll probably know, or I probably won't even be able to decide which one I like more out of this or the VR Neon so far, but I may decide more so when I do my 2 looks using this, because obviously I've worked with that one more and then I have this one. But yeah, you can expect 2 looks using this palette, and it's beautiful, and I have ideas already. This was such a simple palette to come up with ideas, probably more so actually than the VR Neon, because it's I don't know, I found it very easy when I was looking at this palette to actually put together a look. So yeah, loving it, and I love the packaging. The packaging is stunning. So this is our look. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, give me a big thumbs up down below. Also hit subscribe down below to see more of these looks, to see my 2 looks one palette coming up using this palette. I also have the Cyber Bronze palette, which I'll be doing a first impressions and a 2 looks one palette on that as well. And everything else, my colour series, my how-to series, my Halloween looks that will be coming up eventually. I have a lot of those coming up and planned. I'm doing a makeup collection, so if you want to see the crap that I use in my drawers and how I organise them, you can subscribe for that as well. Also, leave me a comment down below if you have this palette. What do you think of the palette? What's your thoughts on the palette? And what kind of looks have you come up with yourself? So yeah, I'm curious. I love a colour combination. So if you want to see this look up close and up close pictures, then my Instagram is linked down below. That's where I always post my pictures, so you can go follow me there. So I'll see you in the next video, guys.